Hello and welcome to round 3 of the IMBA Cup. Here we got Uberge3k as Aeon. He's been a pretty good run, beating very good players. He going with first land here. Playing his Aeon, taking on Voodoo, who's been very impressive in this one as well. This is the winner's bracket, of course. No losses for these two. We have Seraphim for Voodoo, also going land. Here we have DeRozas. A very peculiar map because it has a whole bunch of rocks. You can actually not make mass extractors at all on this one, and you'll do very well if you do. Of course, these ones are finite, even though you can have a really good eco right away. Eventually you'll run out of mass, so people usually still choose to go with mass extractors, but as you can see here, absolutely no mass extractors yet. It's a very big power spam from Voodoo. You can see an energy from Voodoo now going on a reclamation spam. And we do see a second air from Uberge3k. You can see he also made quite a bit of power. His first mass extractor, minute 2. So a big contrast to the first two maps. Looks like air for Voodoo as well, second air. The only difference really in this game is that Uberge3k went for the air a little quicker than Voodoo. Of course, on this map there's also some sieves, a lot of mass extractors in the middle, of 4 of them, another 4 right here, and really very spread out here with a lot of mass in the middle and 4 identical starting points. So a lot of mass here at these extra starting points. See a very early interceptor from Uberge3k, anticipating Voodoo from coming with a bomber, but Voodoo also goes with air. So both players going first interceptors, so respecting the other player. And you can see the interceptor from Voodoo going across. Also upgrading mass extractors for Voodoo. He's made 4 mass extractors to him already upgrading. And first fighting of the game. We also see upgrades for Uberge3k. He's going with pretty big land spam here, most likely for NGs, and going actually second air factory. You see multiple land factories for Voodoo as well. Both players getting an air force, and really only actually no NGs going out for Uberge3k. And here comes the transport from Voodoo, pretty early transport. And it doesn't look like it will be challenged at all by Uberge3k, who's keeping his air force home. He's also got a transport. Actually, this transport going down for Voodoo now, and a bomber going to the right, plus a whole bunch of land. Now this transport might be a little bit of trouble with these interceptors from Uberge3k. Voodoo spots those and drops off this transport's a little earlier, so good work with his interceptors, but also a drop coming in from Uberge3k. So both players are going to get a hold here on the bottom, and on top looks like we're going to have a land fight. Should see more drops coming in from Voodoo. Very similar gameplay from these two players. Really only one way to play early is to spam a whole bunch of power and get T1 land and air to try to control the map. See this bomber from Voodoo looking for any drops here on top. And both players are going to make land factories here at the expansion. Definitely has been found out by Uberge3k. Yeah, we might see some pretty devastating bombing here. Auroras versus Tech 1 bombers is a very bad situation for Auroras. You see these bombers are really going to help out the land units here on top for Voodoo. See both players not taking over the map. So far it looks like on top there is going to be an advantage for Voodoo. He's definitely got numbers, also have some NGs, building a series of land factories. A little land trickling in for Uberge3k, but definitely a bigger production here for Voodoo on the bottom. If you look at the base for Voodoo, He is just upgrading Mask Extraction to T3, still spamming T1 power. We already got T2 power from Uberge3k. Looks like he's got T2 land. Making more T2 power. Probably recycle all that T1 very quickly. And now we got a very important fight here for Voodoo. If he loses both of the expansions and only have his base, looks like he's completely lost. Looks like it was a failed drop right here from Uberge3k. He's completely lost the top and he is in the process of losing the bottom. So he needs some big things happening here. We'll see a pretty big T1 spam through the top for Voodoo. You see here from far away a lot of tanks coming in. This is a very impressive spam from Voodoo here on the bottom. A little bit of raiding from Uberge3k. It looks like T3 land is coming up for Uberge3k. He already has a whole bunch of T2 power. Not too much T2 power for Voodoo as well, at all. He's just started his first. Minute 9 to a little behind for Voodoo in terms of where he is in terms of power eco, but in very good shape in terms of where he is in terms of map control. You can see the Auroras being countered by quite a few Arctic here in this force. The Auroras can no longer outrange, but a nice Aurora force coming in from the side. Maybe try to kill a few of those factories, but so much production here from Voodoo. Actually, Voodoo coming in directly into Uberge3k's base with that T1 spam. A lot of pressure against Uberge3k here. Here we got a Tech 1 transport, some NGs. A pretty impressive air force here for Voodoo. And this fight's still pretty tough, but it looks like Voodoo is getting the upper hand and lots of trouble. Voodoo at his base actually getting taken out, losing his mask extractors by multiple teams of units, and a drop from Voodoo almost pulls it off through a cloud of interceptors. And now you see Uberge3k actually has a drop over here. Might start a base. And from far away, Uberge3k is about to have only his starting base with units in it killing mask extractors. Looks like Uberge3k's getting some expensive upgrade, now getting some Harveys. He really needs those Harveys as quick as possible to get some of the map back. And you can see Voodoo getting a lot more T2 power, gets a shield around his ACU. Has some T3 mask extractors. And now we still got a lot of trouble here. We got a Harvey getting some kills, and a big stream of Tech 1 coming in from Voodoo. See this Harvey here has quite a few kills, 17 kills. About minute 13 here, if we look at Voodoo, he's reclaimed 57,000. Uberge3k has only got 32,000, so very big difference in terms of reclamation. And in terms of map control, big advantage for Voodoo. Now you can see the Harveys for Uberge3k moving out. It's going to be a good counter. We do see some T2, some Yoshivas in Voodoo's forces, but these Harveys should be able to push back very, very well. We do see T3 land from Voodoo as well. See some Othams. Looks like he's going to be transporting this. And these are going to be massive kill for these Harveys. Holding down the 47 kills. You'll see some gunships coming in for Voodoo. There's just too much spam from Voodoo. You see a lot of Tech 1 moving in directly. A couple more Harveys would stop this flow, and I actually see the ACU for Uberge3k having to fight. You see 4 kills for Uberge3k's ACU. 68 kills for some of these Harveys. And actually losing any of this power is not a huge loss for Uberge3k at all. You do see some drops with Autumns coming in from Voodoo. Those are going to have a big effect on this fight. You can see now T2 gunship spam, and here come those Autumns. This will be very devastating from Voodoo. Actually, over here in the middle, we got something like 6 Harveys, and they actually have stopped the flow of units into Uberge3k's base. But now we got these awesome taking out the T2 power of Uberge3k. Uberge3k does have a resource allocation, so losing T2 power is not a huge loss for him. Now we're seeing some Tech 1 bombers coming in from Voodoo. And now Shields plus Harvey, 66 kills, 108 and 11. 36 kills and 81. T2 bombers coming in after Voodoo, taking out the rest of power. Uberge3k gets plenty of power though with the ACU. More Tech 1 land being built by Uberge3k. Now you see these Harveys were just on a roll. See, in terms of map control, complete domination from Voodoo, and actually these T2 continue to harass. And back at the base, we got T3 power for Voodoo. Also has T3 air. 140 kill Harvey about to die. Now what's the plan for Uberge3k? He really needs a lot of things to go his way. He's actually losing his T3 units here, the Harveys. Way too much spam from Voodoo. Yeah, he's gonna have to come back to base. Big trouble at the base for Uberge3k. More T3 power. We got a halfway done chicken for Voodoo. This is minute 20. 20 minutes. We see 95,000 reclaimed for Voodoo and only 43 for Uberge3k. So having map control here on DeRoses is huge. The more map you have, the more mass you can reclaim. And you can see these NGs from Voodoo got a lot of mass throughout this game. A lot of dead units in Uberge3k's base. And 19 kills for Uberge3k. These Harveys actually get some of the factories, and the other 3 have died. And this is pretty much the inevitable Uberge3k's main base getting ran over. We see some Autumns together with this T1. Makes a huge difference. And we see all the NGs and all the production for Uberge3k dying. There is a chicken nearly completed, but it most likely won't get to have an effect. And you have Uberge3k with his last Harvey, 35 kills. You see Strat bombers coming in. Uberge3k got 40 kills, getting put into the corner. And there goes Uberge3k. So very dominating for Voodoo in this one. He goes into the semifinal.